The American League Championship Series is set for the Seattle Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays. The Tigers fall to the Seattle Mariners in a heartbreaking 5 games, a 15-inning marathon. Literally, the game just ended. It's a little past 1 o'clock in the morning at this point, so I'm going to try to make this brief. Lord, that was a very, very long game. The Seattle Mariners are well equipped to make it to the World Series. I feel like that's going to be such a great matchup between them and the Toronto Blue Jays. The great pitching of the Seattle Mariners against the great offense of the Toronto Blue Jays. Funny how, back to my predictions, the only team in the American League that I got right was the Mariners, making it to the championship series at least. Tigers are going home, a heartbreaking defeat once again, because it was the same exact result last year when they faced up against the Guardians and went out in 5 games. That Tigers team is a very scrappy bunch. If you gave them any window of opportunity, they were going to absolutely take advantage. You saw that with them in the wild card series, and then you saw that with them in this series as well. Tarek Skubal is the best pitcher in baseball. There is no other way to put it. Tarek Skubal, whether it's regular season, whether it's postseason, he shows up and he shows exactly why he is the best in the business. We're talking about somebody who had 6 innings and punched out 13 Mariners. Every time he was out there, he put the Tigers in a great position to win. His first appearance against the Mariners this series, I believe it was back in game 2. He went 7 innings, gave up only 2 runs, and struck out 9 and 2 home runs to Jorge Polanco. But other than that, he was dealing. And then you go back to his start in the wild card series where he punched out 14 Guardians, all swinging strikeouts, mind you, pitching 7 2/3 innings. Tarek Skubal was remarkable. And when he does inevitably become a free agent, if I were the Tigers, I would be looking to lock him up for the rest of his career. Kerry Carpenter doesn't have the nickname Kerry Bonds for no reason. He was a problem in this series. Just in game 5 alone, he got on base 6 times, hit a go-ahead 2-run home run. In game 5, he was the engine for this Tigers team throughout this series. Guys up and down this Tigers lineup were rising to the occasion. A season that could have very much ended in a collapse or in turmoil or anything like that. They had to earn their way every step of the way. And so much so, I feel like they'll be back next year. They're one of the best teams in the AL Central, and that may or may not be saying a lot, but they still have a very good team. Tarek Skubal spearheading that starting rotation, and then that lineup led by Kerry Carpenter, led by Riley Green, who had a career season. Gleyber Torres, if they decide to bring him back, because he's going to be a free agent, and he played very well for the Tigers this year. Parker Meadows plays a great center field. Dylan Dingler is great behind the plate. I think the Tigers are going to be just fine, and I think there's no shame with how their season ended. Marathon that was game 5, there was plenty of chances for both teams, for that matter, to take the lead or eventually take home the win. Leo Rivas, in his first postseason game, get the game-tying hit to bring home Jorge Polanco, and it was Jorge Polanco to eventually send the Tigers home. Bizardo, former Red Sox pitcher, he pitched a tremendous 2 2/3 innings out of the pen and striking out the side in one of those innings, with his sinker being absolutely lethal against the lefties, and he was painting it the entire time. Mariners pitching, great pitching out of the Mariners from the bullpen even into the starting rotation, which is one of the best in the business. George Kirby was great, went 5 innings of 1-run baseball and struck out 6. 5 out of the 6 pitchers the Mariners went to after him combined for 11 strikeouts. This was the series that was filled with the most drama. You can see throughout the games that it could have went either way. I feel that the Mariners were going to be better equipped moving forward if they were to advance. It gets to the point now where you have World Series aspirations if you're a Mariners fan, if you're a Blue Jays fan. For the Tigers, there is no shame in how this season went. Obviously, it wasn't ideal blowing the divisional lead in the last month of the season. I'd imagine it galvanized the troops, eventually get back to where they wanted to be, and that was be in a position to get far in the postseason. Not to say that they didn't go down without a fight, but it's going to be very fun to see how the rest of these playoffs turn out. For the Tigers, I can imagine them seeing that they have that core in place with Carpenter, with Riley Green, Skubal, among others, for ways to build up that team even more, so they can put themselves in an even better position to compete next year. Maybe they can look at re-signing Gleyber Torres, maybe even get after a lockdown closer or somebody to appoint as the go-to closer, because I know they kind of have more pitching chaos and closer by committee. But other than that, there's really not much I can really say, at least from my point of view, that the Tigers would desperately need. I think another bat would probably be the most important thing. Anything else would be a luxury for the Tigers. But you guys let me know, what do you guys think the Tigers need to do in order for them to make it to the World Series, or at least push forward to get out of the divisional series next year? Mariners fans, how are you feeling about your team making it back to the American League Championship Series, the first time since 2001? Again, this was probably the most drama-filled series among the bunch. I mean, Cubs and Brewers are going to be taking center stage very soon. Those two series in particular have been the must-watch series. But in any case, let me know how you guys feel as the postseason continues to trudge along. If you guys did like the video, we appreciate any and all support you guys would be able to give us. Like the video, share it around, and subscribe here at Vendetta Media to stay up to date. Then we'll be postseason, as well as all the other stuff we're having coming at you with the NBA season under 2 weeks away and the NFL season in full swing. And also go check us out at vendettasportsmedia.com to stay up to date with all your favorite sports. But with all that being said, guys, that's going to do it for me, and that's going to do it for the Detroit Tigers of 2025. See you guys next time.